I had my kitchen remodeled year and a year and a half ago, and since then I realized my tests have shown that I have a high level of lead, which I didn't before I had my kitchen remodel. So I just found this out. So I've been kind of going through the different phases of being really angry, and I'm not sure where to start because I can't get mad at lead. Um, and then
Hmm.
and then I also am still dealing with some Lyme that's not, I'm going to have to go to now a specialist, and I just feel like I have a lot on my plate, and I just don't know who to get pissed at except life.
Yeah, that can happen sometimes,
And
you know, like
I just
I
need
know
to,
I have the stressful situation,
and I just
but
need to go
who
back.
am I mad at,
I need to
right?
go back through my notes because I know we addressed this in 101, and we're just doing one liners or whatever, but I'm not there at this moment.
Well, what I do when I'm not clear what the stressful thought is or where I'm really, what I'm upset with or when I'm not clear, then I just start by brainstorming and I just start writing, speaking the stressful thoughts as they come out, kind of just randomly, and then go back and look and see which ones seem to be closer to what it is. And so, if you want, we can do that right now.
Okay, let's do it we can with the time we have.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good amount of time for that. So you found out that you have a high level of lead, I assume, in your body
Yeah, yeah, it was like
because of
zero
the
before.
kitchen.
I had a comprehensive blood test uh, before the remodel, and then had another one that's like, you know, it's it's high, it's above, it's up there. So
Okay.
it's like I don't
Okay.
know where it came from, check
So
the water. I mean, everything. So I just feel helpless, and I've been treated for it, and it's just barely going down. So like something's happening. So
okay.
I feel
Yeah.
helpless.
So let's just brainstorm what are the stressful thoughts around this? Like you have a high level lead and what does that mean? What are you like what are your thoughts? What are your first thoughts?
Um, First thought would be, I guess it would be, why me? And I was so
Yeah.
diligent. I
Okay.
really tried, I was so diligent on all the treatment, and it's still there, and it's just I just feel helpless.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
feel like I got
So
too much on my
there's
plate.
something there. So like then there's another thought. It's like I was so diligent, the treatment didn't work or something like that. Like there's something we could blame, like the treatment, right?
Ah,
It didn't work. That could be an interesting
I could
one to
get
play
mad at
with.
my doctor
Yeah,
because
or the treatment
she
itself,
didn't,
or just
it's a naturopath, so maybe I should just be taking drugs, so I'm mad at, I don't know, the doctor. Yeah.
that's one possibility. Let's keep brainstorming. What else what is it about this situation that's bothering you?
Well, I guess I feel a little bit picked on. I mean, I could kind of see myself going back to when I was, you know, 4 years old or something like that, and so I don't want to revert. I kind of feel myself slipping into the victim role, and I don't want to go there. So that's uh,
Hmm.
that's what bothering me is. I feel like a victim. So.
Yeah, yeah. It's like what I find is when I'm feeling stress and I'm thinking I don't want to be a victim, I don't want to go there. It's too late. I already am there. And that's why it's bothering me. So what are the victim thoughts? Like it's not fair or they're picking on me. What are the victim thoughts?
Yeah, I keep going back to, why me? Why it seems like it happens to me. I've been dealing with different medical situations, and it just I've been trying really hard, and it's just upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel powerless.
So that's a good one right there.
I
Yeah.
did my best. I thought I was doing my best.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Right.
sure
Because in that is
what to
like
do. So
I've
what's that?
I've failed.
Yeah, I failed.
In that is like I failed, right? I did my
Yeah,
best. So that's another stressful thought.
yeah, yeah.
And then what are your thoughts about having lead poisoning? What are your thoughts there? Are there any kind of stressful thoughts around that
Yeah, I
itself?
mean, I'm just gonna affect. It could affect my brain. I have inflammation in my brain, so it could affect my memory and whatever
Mhm.
other impacts it could do, like to the liver or the kidneys or stuff like that. So
Yeah. Okay. Good. So these are more things that can be looked at in terms of basically we're just collecting a bunch of stressful thoughts, and then these are options for you when you go into it, right? So um, like why me is a question, so I can't really question the
no,
question, but underneath why me is sort of like something like it's not fair, or
well,
they're they're picking on me, life is picking on me. You can even write a worksheet on God or on life itself or on nature, however you want to see it. Like God is picking on me, kind of thing, you know? I'm angry at God because
yeah, yeah,
God
yeah.
gave me lead poisoning, right? That can be an interesting worksheet.
Ah, huh.
Um, and then, so that might be fun to play with in a situation like this. Or you can question what you wrote, I'm powerless, right? Because the belief is I am powerless, but in this moment, is like, how powerless am I? And that would be an interesting way to question. Or I failed.
Yeah,
Or this is going to seriously affect my health.
yeah.
Or, like that.
Well,
Okay. Any other ideas for you as we continue brainstorming here? How could you work this situation of getting high level of lead in your blood? Um, is there any other parts of it that are stressful for you?
it can shorten my life. That stresses me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
being vulnerable. I could die.
Yeah, right. And implicit in those are I don't want to die, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I want to have a long life.
yeah,
So these can be questioned as well. So this is how it goes. You just start and you just start building. Like what else? Why do I feel this way? Why? And you can just keep finding new layers of stress around this. How about the whole decision about the kitchen or the people who made the renovation, or and are there any stressful thoughts around that?
Well, I guess I wish I had a house that maybe that didn't have this if lead. If this is where I got it, I have a lot of issues around my
Yeah,
house, and so this just kind of adds to it. So I have a lot of
yeah.
worksheets I
So
could
those are
do
good
on my
ones.
house.
You could do the work on your house. You could write worksheets. I'm upset with my house because it had lead, or I'm upset with my house because it's ruining my life, or whatever,
Yeah,
however you
yeah,
want
no,
to
I can do
wherever
a
you
lot
want
of
to go.
worksheets on my house. Yeah,
Yeah. Or simply, I just wish I had a different house, right? I
yeah,
wish I had a house that didn't have lead. Um, these are stressful thoughts. Why are they stressful? Because they're arguing with reality. Reality is
yeah,
you have a house that has lead in it, and and this thought, I wish I had a house that didn't have lead. Although you may want to maybe look for another house until you have another house. This is an argument with reality,
Yeah.
right?
Now, would this be
If it's stressful. If it's not, then it's just a wish.
yeah. Um,
Okay, go ahead.
would this be a good situation to have the four turnaround? I mean, the four questions, or maybe go more in depth, like in the judge your neighbor worksheet or one-liners.
Yeah, one-liners or judge your neighbor worksheet. What you've seen here is a little bit of both. You know, it's not fair is a one-liner, or I'm powerless is a one-liner, or I failed is a one-liner, or it will affect my brain is a one-liner, or it will shorten my life is a one-liner. Those are a lot of one-liners. But we also found judge your neighbor worksheets like I'm angry at God because whatever,
Ah,
or uh, I'm angry at maybe that's probably that my mind keeps going back to that one. I'm angry at my house. That was another judge your neighbor worksheet,
uh-huh.
possibly. Or um, you've originally said something about your doctor, like I'm frustrated with my doctor because, and you find your reason with that. So the way I like to do it is I take the stressful situation and I start looking at it. I start brainstorming what are my stressful thoughts about it. I just write everything down. And then some of those things will lead into writing a judge your neighbor worksheet or two. Some of them will just be perfect the way they are as one-liners, and I'll just follow my nose, listen to myself,
Mm.
really listen where am I being drawn most, and I'll just go in one of those directions. And yeah, this is called exploration. There's no hard path to follow here.
Yeah.
We're building a path.
Mm.
We're finding a path where there wasn't one before. And the judge your neighbor worksheet is really good for identifying where I'm feeling like something else is causing me to be a victim. So I can judge that something else. It doesn't even have to be a person. I can judge the lead. I'm angry at the lead for shortening my life or whatever. It could be that's the lead is a neighbor in a way, or it could be a person. It could be it could be the house. It could be anything. And it could be just simple one-liners that make no reference to anything outside. It's just, I'm powerless. Okay, why not question that? Or, I tried really hard. Okay, I failed. Question it. Or, I don't want to die. I want to have a long life.
Mm.
But these are one-liners. So, what I'm saying is, this is how I do it for myself. Is I just write down a bunch of thoughts. Usually the first ones that come out, just trust those. And then maybe I'll find a one liner out of that. Maybe I'll find a judge your neighbor worksheet out of that. It really doesn't matter. I have some things that I can question. Yeah, Ryan. Hold on, Ryan. You're on mute.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
oh, good move. Uh, like we were saying earlier today, it's like it seems like the ones that really want to be heard are often there first. And like even earlier in the call, we're saying that like if you think of that as the loudest, like what comes up right away, you know,
Yeah.
is one way of saying what's really here, what's really strong, what comes up first,
What comes
or
up first?
or
I trust it
quickly.
quickly. Right. Like what came up first for you, Susan, was why me? That one came up right away. Like, why me? And because why me is itself a question, and it's kind of hard to question a question. Why me? Is it true? It doesn't really make sense. But in why me is a stressful statement if you unpack it a little bit, right? Why me means it's not fair. That would be a one way of saying that. Or why me means that I'm being picked on. So that could lead to judge your neighbor worksheet on God picking on you, if you want to think of it that way, or life picking on you. So, but the first things out of your mouth, and really trust that. Why me? There's something there. You can feel it. There's a stress there. what is that stress in statement form that you could actually work. And one of the things you said was, I was so diligent and the treatment didn't work, so why me? I tried really hard and I failed, so I failed. The why me is leading to that. So you can trust what comes up first, and then maybe sometimes you have to kind of play with it and see what's sitting underneath it. But more often than not, it's why me is an exception. Normally it comes out as, oh, I hate them, or like they did this to me, or whatever. It's not fair. So you can just listen to what comes and trust what comes. Usually the first things that come are very right on point.
And you can see, like, if you pull on that thread a little bit, then all those connecting thoughts are going to come up, or feelings or whatever, just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Right after that. And you see these kind of themes or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a bunch of thoughts over here around this thing. And it's like this image of getting to the core of that, getting to the nucleus of that. But any one of those is a path that way.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Like you probably won't work all of these things that we just found, but any one or two of those could be real inroads for unraveling this stress for you.
Yeah, I always like what you say to, go back over them and, to judge your neighbor worksheet or whatever, and whichever one kind of really is a hot button for me. Which one that really just, is hot, that's the one I'm going to go to. So.
Yeah. Byron Katie sometimes says, which one has the most Velcro? Like it's still sticky.
Which is sticky.
Still kind of grabbing me. So, there are different ways of saying it, but the idea is that there's something that catches my attention. I've listed a bunch of stressful thoughts. Which one draws my attention? I go take it. Don't have to work them all, but that one will probably be a good one.
All right. Thank you.
And you can't do it wrong. We're exploring. You can't explore wrong.
That. Yeah.
Yeah.